Good morning YouTube and welcome back to an episode. We are going to do a full week of training, but a little bit of an update because as you can probably tell I sound like shit, and that's because I feel like shit. I've had a cold or some virus that's been going around for the last week and it has wiped me out. I've not trained for about 7 or 8 days, cold sweats at night, just feeling really fucking grim. I probably shouldn't be training today in all honesty. I've had about 5 hours sleep. According to my watch, my average heart rate through the night was around about 85 beats per minute, which is very high for my resting heart rate. There was like hot sweats, cold sweats. I'm definitely not even remotely recovered, but I don't know. I can't go another couple of days without training, so I'm just going to ease myself back in this week. I've also got some really exciting new training goals that I want to share with you guys as I come to the back end of this little fat loss phase that I've done. Not been the most successful fat loss phase, so I'll provide a bit of an update on that as well. It's not been a bad one, but it's just not been the most successful, and I've got a few reasons why I think that might have happened. One of them being the way that I feel right now. So I've got some exciting new training goals that I want to share with you, and I want to take you along for a full week of training towards these new goals, which are going to keep me ticking over really nicely over the winter months. So before we do that, let's go and train pull. It's not going to be the most exciting session because I'm going to try and take it easy, maybe just reduce my volume. But let's get into it. Alright, we're out for session 2. Probably shouldn't be doing this with my chest, but hey, here's what it is. So this is just an easy run to kick the running week off. So 6 kilometers, zone 2, nice and easy heart rate, nothing too intense at all. So this is a good opportunity for me to talk about my goals and what I've got coming up. So I've decided to, one, I'm going to do a bit of a high rocks. So one of my mates and clients has asked me to get involved with the men's doubles at Manchester in January, so that's going to be late Jan, if I remember correctly, 24th, something like that. Bit of a challenge, something fun to do. Post diet keeps me training hard through Christmas and post fat loss phase, so that's something to work towards. And along the way I've also booked a 5k and a 10k run in December. Now, no other reason that I've not tested them in years, and I quite enjoy every now and again just doing something for the sake of it. So we've got a 5k and a 10k race booked in that we'll get to work on. So the goal really is, once I've finished my diet, which will be 2 weeks, I've got this week and next week just to finish off, and I'm in decent shape. I'm not photo shoot lean. Don't fucking need to be photo shoot lean right now. It was really just to give me a little bit of a foundation to start building muscle and start doing some cool things like these runs that I've got planned in. So the goal is to build up running capacity. So I'll be throwing in 3 runs a week on top of 4 gym sessions. I'll be getting myself up to maintenance, or if not surplus calories, and we'll be seeing if we can add some muscle whilst also getting fit and getting ready for a 5k challenge, a 10k challenge, and who knows, maybe use those as like a baseline to improve on those and go from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for the next workout. Good morning, we are back at the gym. It is 5:30 on Tuesday. Still sound like shit, still feel like shit, but I'm determined to win this week. I probably shouldn't be here. I didn't sleep great again, and kids are just not sleeping well. We had the dog in the bed with us last night as well because it's Diwali, so there was some like fireworks and stuff going off. So the dog didn't want to sleep downstairs. He's terrified of him, so he was in bed with me. So it was another really bad night. I'm just getting no sleep at all. I'm literally surviving on a couple of hours tops at the moment. So things are rough, but yeah, listen. I had a week off last week, as I mentioned, so it's important that I get back to it this week. Even if it's not the best week of training, I just need to get that rhythm back. It just makes me feel better, and I've got a really busy day. I've got 35 check-ins to do today and a couple of calls. So if I train first thing in the morning, it just allows me to feel good. So just wanted to add a bit more context to yesterday's goals, because I realised that thinking back, I was out of breath and just on a busy road also. I was trying to explain it. So 5k and a 10k both booked for December. Hyrox for the end of January. Obviously, I'm going to be doing that alongside trying to build some muscle tissue. Building muscle tissue is still the main quest. That is still the focus. They are very much side quests and things which I enjoy. And I think it's incredibly important to have goals alongside the main goal, which are just like fun, you know, something just to keep ticking over. And as much as I want to be bigger and leaner, and, you know, my primary focus is around aesthetics and looking a certain way, I still want to feel good. I still want to be cardiovascularly fit, right? You know, as I get older, especially, I think it's, you know, something, especially since having kids, like the focus has definitely been less around just looking good. It's still the primary focus, but it's still important for me to feel good and perform well. And obviously I'm going to get that a lot more from things like running and Hyrox than I am just lifting weights. But they all have their parts to play, which is the most important thing. And I think the big takeaway from this is, like, a lot of people just think that fitness is fat loss, and it's so much more than that, right? You've got to have focuses, you've got to have things that get you excited and get you motivated to go and train the day afterwards and get up in the mornings and get your runs done and get to the gym. And that's what these things are hopefully going to do for me. It worked wonders earlier in the year when I did my my Hyrox series, so you can go and watch that vlog series if you want. Did that into Hyrox Glasgow. And that was when Brody was first born. Again, living on very little sleep and things, but it gave me a real focus for a couple of months, which was, you know, kind of very much needed at that time. So anyway, let's go train push, and I'll see you guys soon. Hello, we are back Wednesday, and you might be able to sound or hear it in my voice hopefully, but I'm actually starting to feel like I'm becoming human again, which is obviously good news. Let me just get those out of the way. So we are just on the way, it's around about midday. I've just had some dates, some bananas, some rice cakes, some honey, so I'm suitably carbed up, and I'm on my way to the track to do my first track session in probably over a year, man. Like, it's been a while. I got into it a while back and I really enjoyed it, but it was just finding time to kind of fit it into my days as my days got busier, especially as we had kids and stuff like that. So I'm gonna do my first track session. It's a reasonable one. I'll have to check it, but I think it's 6 lots of 400 meters. Obviously aiming to go pretty quick. Now, I don't really have a pace in mind because, one, I'm still pretty ill, so I need to take that into consideration, and I'm still recovering. 2, it's been a while, so I don't know what my paces are. So I'm going to go off heart rate zones. I've got my heart rate monitor on here. I'm just going to go off zones. So I know I need to be pushing zone 4, potentially even zone 5 for short periods here, because it's short bursts of high intensity efforts. The idea is to build up my anaerobic threshold and get a bit quicker on my feet. So I'm going to be working quite hard. So I think there's 2 kilometre warm up, then it's the session, 6 lots of 400 with 90 seconds rest if I remember properly. So we'll just be doing a very, very, very slow jog for that. And then back into a 1 kilometre cool down. So that is the plan for today's workout. I'm just on the way to the gym first though, not to do a workout, but because I left my coat there the other day and it best still be there, otherwise I'm going to be on a rampage. I'm going to try and get my coat, get some caffeine down me. I've started work really early today, so I started work at like 5:30. So I've done like 5 hours worth of work already, and I've done pretty much all my check-ins. I think I've got about 7 or 8 check-ins left to do, which will only take me, hopefully can have an hour or 2 once I get home, which is good. I'm hoping if this works, this will just be my new setup, right? So on a Wednesday, I'll try and keep that as my track day, start work a bit earlier, you know, kind of fuel up in the morning. So I've had porridge in the morning, I've obviously had my pre-workout snack, and then I'll be able to get to the gym, be able to get to the track midday-ish and do my speed session kind of suitably fueled. So there we go. So let's get to the gym and see if my coat's there. Right, we're on to a winner. I have got my coat, which is good news. So my coat has not been taken, and bonus, the lad in the gym who's dead sound gave me one of these as well for free. Bosh! So I've got my pre-workout. I was just about to buy it and he went, yeah, just have it on the house, mate. what a legend. So I'm gonna nail this. I'm gonna do my run. I'm hoping to bring you along. But the reality is I don't want to carry you whilst I'm trying to do my runs. So I've got my tripod and we'll see if we can set you up. But if we can't, I'll just do a review afterwards and tell you how it went and make sure that I'm still alive. Okay, so we're into the cool down now. So actually went really well considering how ill I've been and how bad my chest has been. Really happy with that. So 2 kilometre warm up, then it was 6 lots of 400 metres. Might have got that wrong earlier, but that's what it was. Pace I've not really looked at. Went pure off heart rate, but I think I was hovering around like a 4 minute per kilometre pace, which for 400 metres and how foot I was, it's quite slow. But first session back, certainly on the track. First session doing this kind of session, and with the illness we'll take it. And look how beautiful it is, man. Like, this is why whenever I get back into running, I think, why did I stop? Because it's just beautiful, man. Like, just so nice to get out and do something like this. It makes you feel a million times better. So as much as I love getting in a dark, dingy gym, like, this stuff is just so good for the heart, man, and the head. Good morning. It is now Friday, 5:23. Just proof of that, 5:23. And I'm just at the gym. And I forgot to film legs yesterday. You're just gonna have to take my word that I did do that leg session, because I definitely did. And it was quite a big session as well, but it was one of them where I got about halfway through and realised that I hadn't started filming anything, and I just thought, fuck it. So this is currently my 4th weight session of the week. Obviously I've done 2 runs so far. I've done my easy run at the start of the week, and I've done my speed run. And this is my last actual kind of like weightlifting session of this week. I'll be doing a long run tomorrow, where I have been doing an extra gym session on a Saturday. That's now going to be my long run day. It's not going to be that long to begin with. It's going to be about 9 kilometres as of tomorrow, but it's going to build up gradually in terms of volume as I get a little bit fitter. And then if recovery is okay, I'm planning on doing like a little bit of a high rock simulation on Sunday as well. So if everything goes okay, depends how I feel on Sunday. If I feel like shit, I'm just going to go sit in the sauna and just have a chill. But yeah, if everything goes okay and everything goes to plan, that'll be kind of total 8 sessions in the week. Is that right? 4 gym, 3 run. Yeah, 8 sessions. If not, it will be 7. So it's been a really good week, especially considering how shit I felt. And I do feel like I'm definitely coming out of this this funk now. I feel like the worst is kind of gone. Like, my voice is still not 100%, but I'm getting there. So let's go train. This is the final session. This is chest and back. So it's quite a nice, enjoyable session. And we'll go from there, guys. Little update. So as you can see, I'm running because the camera's bouncing like fuck. So I am into my final run of the week. So this is 9 kilometres, nice and easy. I'm about 3.5 in as it stands, and a very, very slow pace, which is what I need. So this is wrapping up a pretty good week of running if I finish this run. Now, legs are definitely feeling fucking heavy because I haven't run this kind of volume in a long time. Not that it's loads, but it's still going to be a fair amount. And obviously, although I didn't film it, I did do a pretty heavy leg session the other day, so they're feeling a little bit heavy as well. But very pleased with this week. Calories have been in a good place. Weight has trended downwards, so I'm about as light as I've been on this cut right now, which isn't actually that late. And I haven't actually lost that much weight, which is fine because, well, I'll do a bit of a wrap up video on this sort of mini cut, but there's been a lot going on, a lot of illness, a couple of trips, a couple of birthdays. It's been intense, but I've definitely leaned out and I've dropped around about 3 to 4 centimetres around my waist as it stands as well. despite not losing a lot of actual weight. So an interesting one. So we'll do a wrap up video on that as well. But first of all, I'm going to get this 9 kilometers boxed off, and we'll have a little bit of a chat afterwards. And there we have it, 9 kilometers done, dusted, and it's very sunny. It's actually really nice. So really pleased with that. I mean, I'm not, it was absolutely fucking awful. Like, my pace was horrendous, but I'm pleased that I've got it done. So that wraps up the week. I don't think I'm going to train tomorrow. I think it's very much going to have to be about recovery tomorrow. So I anticipate maybe a sauna, steam room, something along those lines, and just a bit of a chill. If we can get some childcare. Might dump them at my mum and dad's and see if we can do that. So yeah, it's been a good week. It's days like today though, I sound a bit deflated, don't I really? It's days like today where I just wonder why I stopped this stuff, and I always said it earlier in the vlog, but it's so relevant because earlier this year we obviously did high rocks, and that 9 kilometers that I've just done there, the pace was so slow. And there's nothing wrong with that, right? Like, you know, you got to build back up, and that's fine. I've been ill and shit like that. But I should have just kept going. And here's the thing, I've got lots of clients who take a hybrid approach, right? They want to get fit, they want to get strong, they want to look good, but they also want to perform well. And the reality is you can do all of that whilst also building muscle and losing fat. You just need to break your year down into manageable chunks and understand what each phase needs to look like. And I did a really bad job of that last time. So what I should have done after high rocks was keep running in there, just reduce the volume to more maintenance, focus on composition. And then when I came back to this style of training and I started to ramp up the volume for running again and give myself some targets like the 5k to 10k to high rocks, you know, all of a sudden you've got that foundation and that base to build on. And I just didn't do it, did I? Now I will give myself a bit more credit because obviously we had Brody, so we were adjusting to a new addition, and you know, during that period of time training's been really good. So from a composition standpoint, I feel like I've added quite a lot of muscle tissue, which is a bold statement because muscle tissue is hard to add, but I've never been as lean as I have been at this kind of weight, 90-ish kg. So it's done wonders for my physique, it's done wonders for my overall composition. Now it's just a case of bringing this stuff back in, having a little finish, a little flourish next week into Dubai for this little mini tidy up, and then we get to go and eat some more food and fuel for this whilst also building muscle. And again, this is a common misconception, but you can build muscle whilst running and conditioning and high rocks and things. You can do the two at the same time. It's just having the right nutritional approach, and it's also then just knowing where things need to be from a volume perspective. So what I will likely do with my training inside the gym is I'll reduce my training volume on the areas that I'm happy with and content with to maintenance, which means, listen, the amount of work you need to do to maintain muscle is so much lower than the amount of work you need to do to build it. And then the areas that I want to focus on for growth, so I really want to develop my posterior chain, my hamstring, my glutes, my back. I'll ramp up the volume in those areas and try to build there, whilst also then increasing the volume with running, conditioning, for me to perform my best for those things that I've signed up for. So the thing with being hybrid, or I hate using the word hybrid, but the thing about chasing multiple goals is you can do it all, just not all at once. And it's almost like, if you can imagine a seesaw, right? You've got physique on one side, then you've got your condition, should we say, on the other side, performance. And certain times of the year, it's just going to tilt in one direction. Sometimes it might just sit perfectly in the middle, and it's understanding that you can achieve these things. It's about tilting it in the direction, or in the direction, tilting it in the direction that you want for that moment in time. And I could have done a better job of balancing that, but then, like I say, with the life changes and stuff, I'm not gonna be too downbeat about it. So that's gonna wrap up a solid week. Subscribe, like, I want to bring you guys along for these little updates, and let me know what you want to see more of. Nutrition, training, blend, family, and I will see you guys soon.